Uh, I'm excited today. I want to talk a little bit about 5 day challenges just briefly and how we can make them easy. Because when you think of a 5 day challenge, does that overwhelm you to think, okay, now I have to do something else? Does that for either one of you? Do you think, or have you either one of you thought of a 5 day challenge for your
I started I started preparing for a 5 day challenge because I thought I wanted to do that before the course. So I actually made I made little video clips for that. I kind of did a layout and I did the little video clips for it. So that doesn't feel overwhelming to me because I kind of have a layout of what I thought I wanted to do. I don't know if I'll do it the same as I was going to before, but I have some of those pieces in place.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. Have you thought about where you would put your 5 day challenge? Would you do it on Facebook? Would you do it through email? So there's different ways we talked about, you can either do it in a Facebook group, you could do it where you deliver it by email, where you would set up like an automation, or you could do it something like a mini course. You could do that. I've seen people do it through text. What do you think is energy rich for you? Or sometimes I've seen people do it just straight on their social media. The difference is with a 5 day challenge, the purpose is we really want to generate leads. We really want to get people into our community or into our emails.
So you're wanting to kind of be able to have them get their email.
So you can nurture them. Yeah. So you're kind of doing a trade. So, or you get them to join your community. It's like, what's the purpose? Is it to join my community, my Facebook group, or whatever that is? Is it to expand my newsletter list? I highly recommend doing both at the same time, but you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. But the whole idea is then it's going to lead to your course, to your masterclass, to your community, if that makes sense. Like that's the point of having something like that. And it's going to address one of your pain points or ideal life. So that's big. So that's why we hit that so much. And it's so important that when you're creating that course, that community, that masterclass, that what you do is you make sure you know what your number one pain point or ideal life is. Like, what is the number one benefit they're going to get out of that? How is it going to help them? You might have those 3 outcomes in your one big message, right? Those 3 to 5 outcomes. And those are huge. But for your specific course or 5 day challenge, you've got to make sure that you know exactly why your audience needs it, and what you can do. Like if they join your challenge, well, what's it going to do for them? Right? So just as a quick example, we're going to be doing another one. And this is going to talk about how you can leverage this. So last year, President Nelson came out with an Easter video all about because of him and to be like him. And we're like, well, this is perfect for our purpose-filled women group because we talk about becoming like Christ, right? We're disciple thought leaders. That's what we want to be. And Connie has her book, 40 Days with the Savior. And so we did a 5 day challenge. We just said, hey, come on in. And every day we're going to do a giveaway of that 40 days. For 40 days with the Savior book. And it was going to be an ebook because then we don't have shipping. We don't have any of that. Right. But in that, the whole idea is then we're getting people to join our group. We are getting out our message, which is to become like Christ, and we're nurturing them at the same time. We're giving them great content. And in the end, what we really want to do is lead them to our retreat, right? Isn't that that's our stair step is, hey, if you're be like this, now come, do you have a message for him? But in a simple way, we're nurturing everybody where they're at. You might have some that are like, okay, I need to change some things. And then others that are ready to go all in. But it's just a simple thing. The other one that we do that we talked about last time is our 5 day purpose challenge, which is really signature. That is when we go anywhere, when anybody does a keynote, an ambassador or Connie does a keynote, she's either going to be giving away her mini life plan, which is just a freebie opt-in download, or the 5 day challenge, which is still an opt-in, but they can do it on their own. They can opt into it. We have it hosted on Member Vault. They can get in and watch, just like what Angela did, where she has her little videos. And then we lead them, because that's signature, right? When you know who you are and you know what you're to do, that's basically what we teach. And so it's important. So make sure you know what that pain point is and what's the point of it. Okay. And then how are you going to deliver it? Okay. How is that going to, how are you going to give it to them? I highly recommend doing it more than one way. I love doing email because it gets right to their inbox. They're going to get it anyway. You get them on the newsletter. The great thing is when you create copy one way or the other, you just copy and paste it in both places, right? So we do a lot of ours on Facebook. So this time around, we haven't made an email version, but I'll tell you what, over the weekend, or it feels like it was the weekend, over this last few days when I'm at my parents' house, I kept thinking, man, I really should do an email automation for this Be Like Christ challenge. Because why? Because it's going to nurture them better than expecting them to get on Facebook, right? Because on the other end, that means I've got to be leading them to my Facebook group every day, which we will. But I don't know if that makes sense. So how are you going to deliver it? Okay. And then I'm just going to show you, I have a template for you. I'm going to show you this quick template. And Angela or Rachel, if you have questions or you have ideas, I want to show you how we just leverage this real quick. So what we do is, I'll show you first. So this is our Google Drive. And just like Angela, she has videos for this particular challenge. We don't have videos. We have, we're just using pictures and we're using copy from Connie's book. Okay. So, and I just store them because this is exactly, I just turned to Jerusha, right? And asked her, I said, hey, can you just schedule this out? Because I created this last year and we have the Be Like Christ and it's evergreen. So if I click on one of these, like you might have seen here it is right here. The only thing we might change would be the purpose-filled life. It might be DTL, if we had to change anything, but changing that logo would be easy. Okay. But this is our Facebook cover. So when we do this challenge, she'll go in and change that. Okay. And we have all these days where we're like, okay, here's this. And this is the main.
This is where you need a person like you, yep. like Jerusha to do that because. Yeah.
So, and that might be where you have somebody, hey, I need to make images for this. So what I did is right here. So this is our social media copy. And this is why I say this is important to do is the day before your challenge for us, that will be Sunday, is we say, hey, here's what we're doing and why we're doing it. Here's how to participate. And then each day, these all came straight from Connie's book. Okay. So you could have it when we were looking at one for Angela Myers, she has a download she made for her course called The 7 C's of Parenting. And we took a look at it one day and I went, oh, you have your 5-day challenge right here. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, just with her opt-in and said, this is how we can do this. So the idea of the challenge is to leverage what you have, right? So this is Connie's like, oh, this is straight from her book. This is day 34 in her book. I took the copy straight from her book. Like that's how I'm going to do this. And then here's the challenge. Hey, do this, come get some, go get it. So we give them a little challenge that they're going to do something every day, and it should lead them to something. The purpose of this is to help them draw closer to the Savior, to become like him. And we're going to use it again this year it's because of him, but at the same time, it's still the same thing, just drawing closer to Christ to prepare for Easter. So that's what we have. And then at the end, we always have, this looks like it's day 6, it's like a 6-day challenge, and that's fine. But at the end, it leads them to purchase the book. Hey, do you want to purchase the book if you didn't win it? Do you want it? So I save that because then she can go in and she can just copy and paste it and put it in. So it's always important that when you do one, you write it down, you have it somewhere. But here is the template. So can you see this? And I'll give this to you if you want it. I'm going to give it to you, or you can copy and paste it. So here's the sample. I have a sample of what this looks like. And you would post this on a Saturday or Sunday if you start on Monday. And then I just have day 1. Here's your thing. And it might not be a quote card. This might be a video. Like Angela says, she has a video for hers. But what's the thought-provoking question? What's the number one thing that you're going to do? And then if they have a video, what's your video? You don't have to have both. You can have one or the other. Honestly, if you already have your videos, don't have to redo quote cards. Don't feel like you have to do that. Whatever is easier for you. And then you're just going to have some copy that goes with it down below, which might be what is it that they're learning, and maybe what are they to do that day, right? So on the 5-day purpose challenge that we do, the day one was, I believe it's, isn't that one where you brainstorm words? And then the second day, I know that day 3 is your sweet spot where you're doing the Venn diagram. Day 4 is write out your purpose statement. Day 2 has the words with relationship skills, and the other one. And day 1, the day 1 is, what's the value of purpose? What would purpose do in your life? Does that make sense? So it's like, we just really broke it up. So same thing here. And then if you have a video, you put it here, or you just say, answer your question, whatever it is. But this just gives you an idea. You can change it up how you want. But then we like to, and we're not doing it for this particular challenge, but for like our 5-day purpose challenge, we love to do it live and do a master class at the end. And it doesn't have to be a full master class. Usually we like to call it a Q&A. Here's our Q&A. Come on in, hop in, ask any questions you have. When we make it evergreen, like the 5-day purpose challenge, we still have a video that we've recorded so that they could go and watch it and know what their next right step is. The whole idea is you've got to tell them where to go from there, if that makes sense. Where do they go after the 5-day challenge? What is the purpose? Is it a call with you? Is it to join the group? You want something where they're going to connect with you in some personal way. Okay. And that could be, hey, or it's right here. Are you ready to take the next step? Give them a coupon code for your course and just say, and it can have an expiration date. It can have that you only have so many, right? You just say, okay, I've got this. So that is just a couple of thoughts right there about this. It can be easy, it could be fast, but you want it to be signature, and it's got to address a specific pain point for them. So that's basically what you do. And again, giving them a freebie, a download is awesome. They love that kind of thing. People love that because they feel like they get something, even if they don't print it off. The idea is they feel like they've gotten some value out of it, if that makes sense. So it might be something you give at the beginning. It might be a workbook. A lot of these challenges will say, okay, here's a workbook that you can write down with. It's just pen and paper, or here's a question. Give them something they feel like they're actually transforming or doing something. And then they see what you offer, who you are, and what you can do.